Amsterdam, how you guys doing tonight? We are Immolation from New York. Amsterdam, what's up? Thank you. So Amsterdam, how you guys doing? Good? It is a great pleasure to be back here once again in Holland, man. You guys are always so kind with us, and we appreciate the support throughout the years. Once again, we are Immolation from New York, and here's a new track off the new album. This is the title track, and this one goes out to our buddy Eric. This one is called Unholy Cult. Thank you. So you guys having fun yet or what, yes? We're going to send this out to our good friends in Severe Torture, man, for their support, man, and for helping us out, man, when we needed it most, man. This one goes out to those guys. This is an old school one off the first record, so we're going to take you back about 10 years, man. This one is called Those Left Behind. Unholy Cult record. This one is called Reluctant Messiah. Thank you very much. very much, Amsterdam. You guys definitely kicked our ass tonight, as always, man, and we thank you. We got one more to do. We're going to dedicate this last one to a good friend, Laurent, who's believed in this band for the last 15 years, man, and we finally had a chance to work with him. So this one goes out to Laurent, to Listenable Records, and Helen. And most of all, we'd like to dedicate this last one, and as always, to the guys in Cradle of Filth, man, for inviting us along on this tour, man. They are the fucking coolest guys, and they've treated us the best. So we're going to dedicate to this and to this one to them and to all their crew, man. And to all you fuckers, man, for your support over the years. This one's going out to all of y'all. Thank you. This is the last track off the new record. We'll see you next time. We're Immolation from New York, and this is Bring Them Down. Good night. Amsterdam, we thank you. Good night. Amsterdam. We'll see you next time. We're Immolation from New York. Good night. We're going to do the title track of the new record for you guys right now. This one is entitled Unholy Cult.
It has to be. It can't be too polished. If it's too overproduced, it loses that feeling, you know? It still has to have that gritty, that raw, that heavy kind of vibe, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you look at like two classic albums for us, definitely were Possessed Seven Churches and Metallica Ride the Lightning. Not overproduced, just for the time when they came out, they were just like, boom, a punch in the face, you know? They just had that vibe, that feeling, you know what I'm saying? Two classic albums, two very different records, but two very inspirational albums, you know? And that's the kind of vibe you want to achieve. Something like when you heard those records for the first time, you know, they really had an impact, you know what I'm saying? And they weren't overproduced, there was
like
a feeling.
Music. You want the production to have a certain feel, a certain mood that, you know, you hear it and you're just like, wow, what's that? You know?
Yeah, it's not always about the perfect sound or polished production. It's about the feeling, you know, and that's the best way I could describe it, is to bring up those two albums, because a lot of people are familiar with that. So. Usually a quick one, at least for the last couple of records. We always set a deadline, always. That helps motivate us and, you know, get the flame burning. So for the last two records, Unholy Cult and Close to a World Below, I think the whole writing process from beginning to end was probably about 2 months tops. Unholy Cult was about a month and a half. So what we usually do is we book the studio time, and for 2 months. We just, brainstorm and get everything written. And, I think the fact that we know what we want to accomplish and what we want to achieve with the music makes it easier, especially, with each release. It's easier for us.
Get the studio time down. We know we have a deadline, so we, instead of writing songs, months apart, we pretty much concentrate hard on getting everything done right away. And the spontaneous thing is the thing that I think helps the music, because we're in the studio. We come up with stuff in the studio, and the best stuff we use, some stuff we don't. But I think it's that spontaneous stuff that adds a lot of feeling that you normally wouldn't get. If you really write everything in advance, so it kind of like works to our benefit.
Yeah, a lot of the lyrics also come on the spot in the studio. Like, we have a lot of ideas and stuff, but especially with this record, we were able to work together while in the studio. So we had about 3 weeks to really just fine tune the lyrics, and everybody had their input, and just to craft them the way we really wanted them, So,
and even before, I'd say 2 days before I went into the studio, all the songs me and Ross went over just like with a fine-tooth comb and said, what of this don't we need, what could we make better, and we really, it's something we probably haven't done as much in the past. So this album we did that, and we chopped everything down and made it the way, we took out things that weren't needed, and just to make everything overall better. So that really helped out a lot.
Yeah, we don't really do much pre-production. Basically our pre-production is the month right in our little rehearsal room that we practice and fine-tune everything. That's the pre-production. And what Bob just said, just going over everything with a fine-tooth comb right before we go in. Take out any of the unnecessary stuff. Just make everything, tweak everything so it has a nice flow, so the dynamics are there, so it's not stagnating. The songs have to have a certain flow, and that's important. So.
We're Millbrook Sound Studios in Millbrook, New York, with producer Paul Orfino. We were introduced to Paul a few years back from a friend of ours, and ever since we met him, he was a real down-to-earth guy, and obviously the studio was well equipped, and it was his the type of person he was that attracted us to him. Real easygoing. And then once we did the first album with him, Failures for Gods, we knew right away, that he was going to work with us in the future, because we had such a good experience. It was a very comfortable experience, which is very important when you're in the studio, because when you're recording, something that's going to be there for years, you want to be comfortable. You don't want to have any kind of strange feelings in there, and he made it real comfortable and real easygoing for us. So ever since then we've worked with him. In the past couple albums, he's gotten to know the band personally as well as musically, because he's never worked with this kind of music before. So that being said, it made for these last two albums to be that much better, because he got to know us, and we go into the studio and we know what to expect from each other each time. There's no question. We've been at the studio and we know him. He knows us.
He's like family already.
Yeah, we go in there and we get it done, and that's important. So
yeah, it's like it's just a very comfortable atmosphere. He's almost like part of the band now. He's like part of the family. You know what I'm saying? And that helps. You need a comfortable environment when recording. At least we do, because we're very picky, and we're nervous players if we feel like the pressure's on, or if we're under the microscope, which you are always when you're recording. But for some reason, working with Paul up in that environment kind of lessens that pressure for us. You know what I'm saying? We feel relaxed. We play better. There's no pressure. It's a very good environment for us to record. So we'll continue working with Paul, because I think each release we do with him gets better and better. he already knows what we want, and we know what we want to achieve now. So we know how to achieve it now. We didn't before, but we do it now.
Before I go any further, man, I'd like to just say a quick few thanks here. Mainly to all the bands on the tour, man. We had a really good time, man. It was a very intense tour. And everybody was really great, man. We'd like to dedicate this to all the bands who played on this fucking killer package. And most of all, we'd like to thank the crew, man. The entire stage crew, the staff, everybody who made this possible, man. These are the guys behind the scenes, man, who you guys don't ever see, who keep things moving along, man. So we'd like to thank them all. They were all fucking really pro, man, and it was a pleasure touring with them. And to also all our merch people, man. All the people out there selling the merch, gotta sit out there fucking 8 hours a day, man. This one goes out to you guys. Robin, Scott, Aaron, Max, all you guys, man. This one goes out to all of you.
Touring life, it's great on one hand, and it's very hard on the other hand. It's
not all fun and games like a lot of people might think, you know. I mean, we did 35 shows in the States before this tour, and then we came right over here. We had about 8 hours in between tours, you know, and flew right over here and did this one. In the States, you know, we have a van with a U-Haul. We drive thousands of miles. You know, we did about 25,000 miles on this last tour.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're going from show to show, club to club. You know, it's not like you're on vacation. You know, you're basically doing a job that you love to do. That's really what it is. It's something you love, so you don't mind doing it. But it's still a lot of work involved. You know, it's music, but, you know, you're loading, you're driving, you're playing, you're doing everything.
You do it because you want to do it. It's a job that you like to do. You know, I don't look at it as a job because you don't make any money doing it. But it's something you really have a passion for. It's something you really want to do. So, you know, I don't mind getting in a van for a month and a half with him and the other guys and our crew and driving, you know, 8 hours a night, 10 hours a night. You know, you got to remember the U.S. is a huge country, so everything's very far and you know, very long spans of space in between. You know?
Europe, we have it's kind of nice. I mean, we enjoy all the touring, no doubt. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
But it's nice when we do the U.S. tour first, and then, you know, we're out there, you know,
killing
ourselves doing that. Then we come over here, and to have a bus and a bunk where you can actually go to sleep after the show till the next show. It's actually like, you know.
We love it over here, especially because we don't have to worry about shit over here. We just show up, we play. They usually have a great crew for this tour. Well, this is the Christmas fest, so there's been 9 bands on the tour, you know, for the whole, you know, 15 dates. Now we have Exodus for the last 3 shows, so it's 10 bands. So it's like a traveling circus, you know. But everything's done pro. I mean, the time schedule is very rigid. They have a great crew that keeps the show moving. So, you know, the bands don't have to do that much. They just have to show up and perform and play good. That's it. So it's less work for us, you know. It makes it easier. It's fun for us. You know, we're playing with like 9 other great bands. We're friends with all the bands here. Everybody, it's a very good atmosphere, very good vibe. In the States, we just toured with Vader, the Berserker, and Origin. We had a great time. 3 great bands, great guys, just a lot of fun. But the difference is over there, it's hard to really hang out and enjoy the people you're with because, you know, you play, you drive 10 hours. You play, you drive 8 hours. You play, you drive 6 hours. There's no time. Here you have buses. You can sit on the bus. You can relax. You're hanging out all day. It's very different. So we enjoy touring in Europe much better. Very normal, uninteresting, boring people.
Exactly. Really laid back and.
This is the backstage at a
this is
typical Immolation show.
About as exciting as it gets.
It's like.
Yeah, I mean, we're not like, you know, most of us don't smoke, drink, or anything. We're very kind of laid back people. We just like to. We do it because we love the music. I mean, to me, that's a high. Getting on that stage and performing for, you know, people that are into the music, and it's like a thing back and forth with the crowd. You know, that's pretty much enough for me. You know, we just love doing it, and we actually like just hanging out, relaxing. Maybe if we're lucky enough to go sightseeing or something here in Europe, you know, that's to us. That's what we enjoy doing. You know, we're not really a party band, so this was about as exciting
disappointing as it may be.
Yeah.
Spielberg. We're Immolation. Good night. See you next time.